I didn't realize how much pressure I was carrying until I couldn't carry it anymore. There I was sitting in my doctor's office. I'd seen one of the best fibromyalgia specialists in the city that I lived in. Okay. She walks into the office and she tells me, I have your results. She looks at me and she says, you don't have fibromyalgia. Now, to me, I was really disappointed because all I knew was I had been living in pain and I wanted an answer and I wanted a treatment. Like, I don't want to be in pain. Like, I just need to know what is going on so we can get to treating this thing, okay? Now, the next thing she said, I will never forget, and it was like the dagger in my heart, okay? She looked at me with a lot of empathy, all right? And she said, I believe that you are in pain. And I think you may need to see a psychiatrist to help you. I was like, now inside, like the tears were already going, okay? Outside, I was doing my very best to keep myself composed. I, I just, I needed an answer. And that was supposed to be my answer. And what I didn't realize, like there's so much now, this was, several years ago at this point, okay, like 10 years ago, was that pain was like a huge snowball, a snowball of largely pushing through, pushing through in my marriage, pushing through in my work, pushing through, working hard, you know, not paying attention to what was happening as I was dealing with life. I only knew one way. There was like one mode for me, and it was push through. And there was no other way. Like it's like the air I was breathing, okay? And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I've really started to like think, I don't think I'm the only one here who's been pushing through. And as I've come into midlife, I've been sitting with this question, and the question is maybe there's another way. Do I really want to keep living my life? And look, I'm not going to name names because some of those people are going to watch this video, okay? But I know people in my life, uh, they're like in their 60s and 70s and still pushing through. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like a lot of energy and a lot of like a lack of peace. And I've discovered that there is another way. And the amount of investment I have made into like growing in this area has been worth it. I didn't realize that there is not just one way to navigate life. There's another way which involves ease. It doesn't mean a perfect life. That's like been because for me it was like the only people that can navigate life with some ease are people that have a perfect life. It's like no, that's not true. You get what I'm saying? So I'm offering that today because you may be someone, I don't want to get into like teacher mode because I kind of tend to go there. I'm sharing from my own experience because I feel like there's got to be at least one or two other women that are like, dang, I relate to that. And if you are someone that you've lived your whole life pushing through and you've made a lot of things happen, by the way, okay, maybe we can honor that side of us that does such an impeccable job of pushing through. And maybe we can also learn to listen inside because there are so many cues as we're pushing through that are like trying to get our attention. I'll speak for myself that I just would blow through the cues. So I want to leave you with a question. And the question is, what might you be overriding? Or what are you overriding that might want to be heard? There may be something in you sitting with that question. What are you overriding that might want to be heard? That might be like a way to kind of see something. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.